What's up, everybody? It's Peepo again. Today's Trad Method Monday is going to be about breaking in your brand new or otherwise used traditional pocket. So today I'm going to be using my Optic High School, my black one. Can't really tell with the color of the screen, but hey, it's what I'm doing for Trad Method Monday so you can differentiate the videos, but whatever. So this method, or rather these methods that I'm going to be showing you with breaking in your pocket, can be used on your 2 leather pockets, your 3 leather pockets, your 4 leather pockets, and then in some cases your 5 leather pockets. What was that noise, you ask? You'll see in a second. So usually you see a lot of traditional pockets, they don't really have a very defined shape, and the pocket seems like it's kind of stuck at one spot, or it just kind of does that from your stringing and so on. But I mean, sometimes that happens, but it doesn't really matter as long as everything's even and you just go through and take care of everything that I've talked about before with my previous videos with the bunching as well as the spacing and interlocks, all that stuff that I've already gone over. Now, once you've already gone over that stuff, you can start breaking in, but the thing is you have to incorporate that technology and knowledge into your break-in process. You can't just say, okay, it's good now, let me break it in, and I'm not going to have to worry about it anymore. That's completely wrong. Traditional pockets, you're going to have to pay attention to everything that's going on with it. It's like your baby, basically. You can't leave it alone. You can't just let it sit. So we're going to get right into it. So if, say, the pocket is actually kind of shallow or anything like that, it's okay. The leathers are going to stretch, whether it's Throne leathers, my leathers, the P5 leathers, Gimalax, Stringer Shack. Everybody's leathers are going to stretch to a certain degree. Even the synthetic leathers that Stringer Shack makes, which is basically just weaved nylon ones. But so if your pocket's seeming a little shallow and you haven't really started doing anything to it after you've strung it, here's a good way to test it, and that's to pound it out. One, you just kind of start using your hand, see how the shaping is going. So you pound it, and then you look at it from the angle that I'm showing you. You look at it, and you see that there's a decent amount of definition in mine. So pretend that there is no definition going on with this pocket. Grab yourself a baseball bat. Yeah. Lacrosse player has a baseball bat. Whoa, dude. Whoa. But, so, you can grab a metal bat or a wood bat. I would strongly suggest having a wooden bat because for some reason the metal bats leave a dirt or kind of a residue from the metal on the stick and it kind of makes it dirty right off the bat. Puns! But so, if you have a metal one, do what I do and wrap around the top end or the bottom end, whichever end you really plan on doing. I suggest the bigger end of the bat. You should tape it off and it'll keep the pocket a little cleaner and it'll definitely it won't be able to slide as you're doing this. So it'll have a little bit of grip. The same in the wood shaft or the wood bat will be able to do the same thing without any tape. But since I don't have a wood bat, I have to do this. Now, what you do is you take your bat and you want it on the ground. You actually want it on the ground so you can still see the top of it. You actually take your stick and you actually push down on it all through the pocket. I'm not going to do it full force because I have a wood floor and I don't want to break it. But I suggest you do this on a firm floor or outside on the concrete, or if you just have a concrete floor or whatever. Don't do it on a wood floor. You're going to damage it. Then I'm going to get emails, why did you tell my son to do this to his stick? I should sue you, blah, blah, blah. Let's avoid that, guys. Come on, let's avoid that. So what you do, you take your stick and you start pounding it down. Straight down into the middle, right where you want the pocket. So middle, high, wherever you're going. Before you actually start doing this, guys, do not put in your shooters yet. I know I already have the shooters in and whatnot, but I've already started breaking in this pocket. Don't put the shooters in when you're starting to pound it. This is how you're going to shape your pocket before you put any shooters in. And then your shooters are just going to go with the flow of the pocket. So don't put your shooters in it. If you already have them in, that's okay. But I strongly recommend that you do not have any shooters in the pocket before you start trying to shape it or break it in. So you're pounding it up high, middle, just working all the way down. You work all the way down to the bottom, so you're pretty much rubbing that plastic. And you're just going through, pounding, pound, pound, pound. And you can do this all the time. It doesn't have to be just when you're starting. So you keep pounding it, and then if you really want to work in those knots into the leather, keep the pressure on it, and just kind of roll it like I am doing, up and down. Okay? And this is where you can actually see the process of bunching happening a little bit with the leathers, or rather actually what I'm talking about beforehand, where the ball will actually cause your leathers to adjust naturally and pretty much allow it to do what a mesh pocket would. But we've already been over that, so we're not going to get back into it. So I've been using the bat, pounding it and everything. And the great thing is you can actually take the bat like this, have it put the shaft under your arm, and actually you can do this with a goalie stick too with the mesh, and this actually helps break it in pretty well. But you take your bat and you just go down into the pocket. If you don't feel that pressing down on the top of it like this is doing it, take your bat and actually go like this. Just pound it in there. It's okay. It's gonna take it. It's just a bunch of leather and string, guys. It's not a living thing anymore. But so just keep pounding it in, keep pounding it in. If you feel that it's starting to get a little too deep while you're pounding it in, that's when you go back and take care of the bunching idea, where you pull a little bit of leather through at a time, about 1/8 of an inch. Remember that. So you keep pounding it in. Alright, so I found my depth. Done with the bat. Don't need the bat unless I feel that it's starting to shrink again. So what happens when you shrink? When it starts to shrink because it got wet or whatever like that. If you don't want to go back to square one from just before using the bat, do this. This is part of the break-in process, but it's also part of how you keep the stick functional, how you keep it alive, how you keep it from you wanting to throw in mesh because it's not working anymore or anything like that. This is what you do. You get your ball and knife or your pocket pounder, well, not your pocket pounder, but your pocket stretcher, and I'll actually show you this right now. I'll do this for you guys right here. It's not a knife, but this is the bar that I use to hold my pockets. So you take it, you find where you want your pocket, where you pretty much want it. So I have mine in the middle. I'm going to put it through the sidewall, actually below the sidewalls. See how that's in between the sidewall and the plastic on both sides? Okay, take your ball and you just put it in there. That's all you got to do. Just put it in there. Center it, whatever you got to do. And if you feel that just the pounding isn't working, take it and just take the head, the whole stick like this, run it under your faucet. Like, just soak the whole thing. It's okay. It's going to take it. It's going to be fine. This is part of the break-in process, guys. Run it under the water. Okay? Soak it. Don't take the ball out once you're done. Leave it. Leave it overnight. Leave it until it's dry. Do not put it next to a heater. Do not put it under a fan or anything like that. I have my fan in my room going, but that's fine. That's a constant circulation. It's not a direct heat source or drying source. If you really want to, you can wrap it in a towel or put newspaper in it, but do not shift the ball once you find your spot. Okay? Leave it overnight. Let it dry. That's gonna create your forming for your pocket. This shape that everybody's always wanting. There it is. There's your shape. That's it. And in fact, once you do this, once you found your sweet spots and you started breaking it in, pull the string through, like all the little looseness that you think you might have, push a little bit of it through from one side all the way through to the other end. And that's going to actually form the pocket. And then once it's all dry, once it's completely dry, take the ball out, take your ball out, pull the knife or whatever you're using to brace it out, and it'll have that shape. Okay? It won't be perfect. It won't be perfect. That comes with time, guys. Pull out the ball, check it that it's not moving around, that the interlocks haven't shifted. They shouldn't have if you left it alone. The interlocks haven't shifted. And then if you feel that it just kind of did that and the ball shape is definitely there, bust out the bat again. It's not that hard. Bust out the bat again. If you really want a good traditional pocket, you put in the effort, okay? This is where a lot of effort and where a lot of people just give up and throw mesh in their pocket. You want a good traditional, you put in the time, okay? Bust out the bat again if you feel that you have to. But at this point, you have the shape. You have the depth of your pocket, okay? This point, go wall ball. Go mess with your buddy. Go whatever you're going to do with the stick. Go mess with it. Do not do this the night before a game. You're not going to be able to use it. I mean, unless you strung it, another one exactly like it, all you're doing is setting yourself up for failure. Do not do this the night before a game, especially a big game. Any game. Don't do it before a game. So, take your time, okay? Break it in. If you feel it's not deep enough or it's too deep, pull the leathers, loosen the leathers just a little bit. It doesn't take a whole lot. Keep pounding it with the bat if you feel that it's not breaking in enough. Your strings are just going to lock into the leathers here. I'll actually shift one of my interlocks to try and show you guys what it looks like. Okay? Right here. Do you see this? Right here. That's what your leather is going to look like when those interlocks actually lock into the leather. That is what you're going for. Once you find your sweet spots, that's what you're going for. Everybody's like, I want my interlocks super tight. That comes with the break-in process, guys. You can't have it right off the pun again, right off the bat. You can't have it that way. It takes time. Now, I said there was another method for keeping the shape of your pocket, and that's your pocket stretchers. This is the one that I like to use. I believe this is the brine one, and yes, it actually has brine right there. But I have two of these. One's at the store and one's here. And this is actually a good method to string around too. But you put it in, you can either put it the same way as the ball and knife, but I prefer to try and put it in to the sidewall. And you just push it out. Twist it to exactly where you want it, soak it, or just leave it overnight. When you are not using your traditionals, guys, put something in it. Put something in it. It doesn't matter if it's one of these or if it's your newspaper or a towel or something that's going to hold the shape of the pocket. Don't just get home and be like, oh, I'm done, and the pocket's just stuck like this, and it's like, I'm done for the day, put it in the corner. You pull it out 2 days later or whatever, and it's not going to have the same shape. Doesn't matter if it's Stone Leathers, My Leathers, or whatever. You mistreat your stick, it's not going to be the way that you want it. I know this video is getting a little long and everything, but you guys ask questions and I'm answering them. You want a good solid answer? I'm going to be honest, and I'm not going to edit it. I don't really believe in the editing process to where I have to change my words. So take the time, guys. Put in the effort. Put in the break-in process. It might take a week. Most good pockets take at least 2 weeks. At least 2 weeks of consistent, constant attention and care, and just the whole break-in process is how you become one with that stick. How you can trust what it does. So just take the time, guys. That's breaking in your pocket 101. I mean, that's really the basics right there. I mean, there's other little things like adding oil to the leathers. If it's not treated leathers, just drops of baby oil up the leather once you put it in. Don't put it on your strings or anything like that. Let the leather absorb it. And that's going to kind of keep it waterproof, and it's also going to help with the break-in process just a little bit. The leathers aren't going to stretch way beyond what they're supposed to. So that's just a little tip there at the end. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope this video really helped you guys with your traditionals, whatever you're doing. And the thing is, using a bat can also be used on mesh. Okay? You can use it on your mesh. If you feel that the pocket's not quite shaping, pound it once with the bat, twice, whatever you want to do, until you really feel that the mesh is kind of adjusted to the symmetrical design that you've done. And there you go. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Leave a comment for what you think I should do next. I already have an idea for what I want to do next. And it's pretty much going to add on to the break-in of your pocket. But thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you later.